Okay. I'm a very cynical person. I always have been, not by choice, it's just how I was born. I just like to say cynical rather than pessimistic. I think we live in a hard world during a very difficult time, and we're constantly surrounded by negativity. And my biggest weakness is probably, I'm a very judgmental person. And I think that probably sometimes comes across as like, I can come across as very condescending, even though I don't mean to be. So lately I've been trying to work on that and become a much more positive person that's more pleasant to be around. And this relates to the quote I chose. It's a quote by a Jackson. I'm guessing it's not a Michael Jackson, but I suppose it certainly could be. It says, "Never look down on anybody unless you're helping them up." And I really like that quote. It really resonated with me. In my career and life planning class this semester, I actually, last week, had to complete a large assignment on like my motivations and my life philosophies. And I actually didn't have an answer for like what my life philosophy is. But if I was asked this week, I would probably give that as like one of my life philosophies or values to live my life on. We all enjoy being wanted, the feeling of like wanting to be wanted, and we all get some sense of like fulfillment or pleasure from helping someone else, another person. And I think that we all are too bogged down by like our personal circumstances and like outside situations and like just negative like vibrations all the time. And I think that if we all took this quote to heart and tried to become more pleasant, less judgmental people, and we weren't always trying to put other people down, and instead we help pick them up, that we would all be happier. We would all lead happier, fuller lives.
I like the personal experience and reference at the opening. It seems natural. You do need to kind of get moving a bit and get to the point that you're talking about. The transition to the quote was really solid. But once you get there, there's no structure, there's no setup as to where you're going, and you're just going to be relying on a few platitudes and ideas to get through the speech, and that's going to give you a shorter presentation, maybe something that's not as useful as something that would be a little bit more practical. The ideas are fine, there's nothing problematic with them, but it does mean that it's going to be a little sketchier than it could have been. The presentation, you've got a good voice for the room that you're speaking in, your projection is about right the way it should be. I like the tone that you take, even though you believe yourself to be a cynic. I thought you got the cynicism out of your voice reasonably well. The material is all flowing pretty smoothly, and since you since you're in control of it, it finishes off, even though it's a shorter type of presentation, it still sounds like you knew where you wanted to end, and that gives you a much greater sense of control over the speech. You do tend to stand over the topic there and look down at it occasionally. The typical thing that I think I mentioned before, the idea, well, if I look down at it again, maybe some other idea will suddenly be inspired in my head. And I don't know how inspiring it is to do that. I think you're better off, like I said, creating the ideas in your head and just thinking about those a little bit more. Like I said, I thought you had a clear exit line at the end, and that's a good illustration about how you can sometimes gain control over the material. As long as you know what the point is I'm trying to make and finish with that, a lot of other things can be forgiven. Nothing was problematic except, like I said, maybe the body movements a little bit and the organizational issues. All right, thank you.